Shut up and sit down.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Nerdsplaining Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Da Silva. With me, as always, my co-host, Jose Romero.
Greetings, salutations. Back at it. Couple weeks hiatus, more or less. I was on vacation.
Things to do, guys.
Living life, living the dream, I guess. A version of a dream, anyway. Maybe it's a nightmare.
We have to experience humanity so we can dive into our nerd so we can go,
sure.
This story had real humanity.
Exactly.
We have to
This
experience
is the frame of reference you need when watching these shows and reading the comics and yada, yada, yada.
It can't all be bang, zoom, pow.
It could, but I get it.
I mean, it'd be awesome if it could.
But I get it. Life gets in the way, right? But it's good to be back. You know, I know we got some exciting times for you. 5 days away from the official release of Danger Squad.
Dude, we're at 63 pre-subscribers. I'm hoping we can get to 70. So 5 days, 7 followers. We get those, and you guys, and all that is that when we launch, everyone's gonna be like, "Hey, it's available. Go get it." We got some really cool options. We got digital books. I will say, just a quick heads up, the digital copy of issue 1 will be sold at $6. I was positioning $6.66, but they're like, no, this book is not satanic. It is a kid book primarily, so $6. But the single issue will be sold at $13. Woo! So kind of cool like that. And there's a bunch of cool stuff. I was literally just telling Jose about everyone that buys a physical copy will get an official certificate that says they're a member of Danger Squad. So keep an eye on that and go to dangersquad.com and sign up to Kickstarter as well. Super sweet.
5 days away. That's awesome. We'll talk more about it.
5 days away, man.
A few weeks. The good thing is Danger Squad is run by someone as not as incompetent as Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy. So that's always a positive. That's a plus. It's a plus. And that's where we're going to start. Of course, with a little Star Wars quick tidbits. A few of them we're all going to lump them all together. I know there was something you sent me, a rumor article, what have you, on Cal Kestis. Kestis, of course, is the main character in the Jedi Fallen Order. Great games, 2 of them. Well, those are great. Well, some of the best thing, probably the best thing Star Wars has done in a long, long time.
Have you played Outlaw?
I didn't hear good things about it, so I haven't played it yet.
I haven't played it at all, so I don't know.
I don't know. It was very mixed, so I was like, I'll wait till maybe a price drop down the road, So,
sure.
But I guess I haven't heard good things. But Jedi Fallen Order is great. It's a great story. So it's interesting that rumor comes out. I don't know if this is true or whatever.
All right.
But let's be honest. Anything that comes out of Lucasfilm is not exactly the most reliable information, right? And we've seen a lot of
it is high school gossip.
Right. Anything can happen. Maybe
what I heard Kathleen say.
Right, or it's true, then it's not true anymore. I don't know, But that's an interesting thing because if you haven't played Jedi Fallen Order, it's a great game. But if that's true, I tend not to believe it just because of something I'm going to mention in a second. But first, something I do believe, and that is word that Mandalorian, that film's coming out next year, that's going to be the last thing of Mandalorian in terms of shows, movies, or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it's a strong rumor. So that's interesting. I guess what if you're gonna go out in a film, I guess.
I guess so.
This being the last thing that worries me because now they have to stick the landing, right? There's nothing else to follow.
Right.
Like, okay, we're not setting something up, which is nice, but at the same time, now you gotta close the deal, right?
But you think about it, if you stick the landing well enough, wouldn't you want to do a trilogy? Wouldn't that be the movie way to go?
I guess, but with Lucasfilm, who knows what the decisions aren't made on the best. So, but that's interesting if it is the last thing. So now I think for us as viewers, now we really want to see them knock it out of the park. But you can get away with doing something okay, and then continue the story. But if you're gonna finish it, man, you better bring it. You gotta bring it.
Gotta come in
hot. Yeah, no nonsense. So that's interesting. Again, not fully confirmed, but it's a strong rumor.
You gotta have Grogu in the Mandalorian armor, just murdering. That's the only way. If we don't get that scene, we need. They knew they're not finished. They're not finished.
Interesting. I'm really curious what they're gonna pull off here. But the other bit of news, what I'm not too high on the Cal Katniss thing, is that I guess now there's again strong rumors that the whole Ray movie is on hold.
Yeah, I heard
Right?
about that. Heard
Not
about that. I heard
official,
that
of course, but
rumor.
that's
Yeah,
with the smoke, this fire, and when it's Lucasfilm, you tend to believe these kind of rumors because we've seen this
sure.
100 times. A movie's coming out now, it's not coming out. So, like we've always said, it's been a mess. It's a mess. If this is true,
These aren't the projects you're looking
right?
for.
Oh,
Like,
no.
oh, okay.
I mean, man, listen, I'm.
Is it weird that, like, obviously the Ray movie rumor was being canceled. Taika Waititi's movie, obviously rumored of being canceled. James Mangold, who knows what's going on
That's been
there?
predicted. That's not going to happen, and there's nothing that leads to believe that's not true.
You called it. We had a whole
jump.
joke episode where you called it like it's gonna get canceled.
Gonna get
like,
canceled.
No, don't say that.
It's
and now here we are.
And listen,
so
is there any doubt that's not going through? There's no doubt that movie's never going to come to fruition. It's not. We've heard nothing.
Not until after, as we've heard rumors of, Kathleen Kennedy leaves, and then the new heads are going to take over, and maybe they declare.
Right. Yeah. If a new regime kicks in, if they were to come in, okay, we'll take them out the word.
If Favreau comes in, if Favreau's the new fight for Star Wars, for example, and he's like, okay, this is what we're going to do, then you know exactly what's going to happen.
But until then, I will believe what they're saying until proven otherwise. Right. I'll give the benefit of the doubt for whoever new comes in. Right. No doubt. You have to.
Right.
But yeah, Kathleen, I mean, listen, it goes back to the skeleton crew hoping to be the greatest show we've ever seen on TV. I mean, talk about line up the Emmys already.
I'll take decent. If it's just decent, I'm like, all right, it's pretty good.
Because we talked about this, folks. You don't know. It was talked about her wanting to leave on a high note. So
a high note, right?
For me, a high note must be like a huge win, not just it was a success. It has to be like a huge success.
At this point, it's got to be decent.
It's got to be Mando season 1 level, right? I think at the very least. Anything below that, I don't think that's a win.
Because Mando season 2, the hype was crazy high. Right. But season 1 was like, wow, this is better than I thought. It was a huge surprise.
Everybody was on board, right? It's when Star Wars was still in the good graces of Kathleen Kennedy.
Yes.
10 times have changed. But for me, it has to be that level for me to think to say, oh, success, bye. Walk out, do the Jordan shot, retire, all that, the famous shot. Get out, great, but I doubt it. But yeah, so a lot of interesting things of Star Wars. I mean, again, it's just same old. It just really is. Yeah, let's move to DC because this is one we talked about 2 weeks in a row. We're gonna make it 3 shows in a row because we start off and this is reference to Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps, and all that. It was rumored that it was not rumored. They were offered to Josh Brolin. He turned it down, and then there's rumors about Matthew McConaughey, maybe. I've heard
maybe some Ewan McGregor.
I've heard even Chris Pine, which would have been a very good choice, mind you. All good choices. All obviously looking for an older individual, clearly, and that they stuck to that because we official a name which we didn't even talk about wasn't surfaced anyone. That's Kyle Chandler. He's gonna be Hal Jordan in that.
I'm not gonna lie, Kyle Chandler just on looks. I mean, he's a solid actor, blah blah blah. But on looks, he's kind of a solid Hal Jordan.
He is. I mean, listen, he's not the big ticket, the marquee name, but that's okay.
He's not an exciting name, but he nails the job.
He's good. I mean, I think he's one of those guys from those things. Oh, that guy from that thing. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights is the big thing. I think he was involved in. Most people know him by.
I first remember him as a dad from Super 8.
Super 8. Yeah, exactly.
He was a sheriff dad in Super 8.
Some little things, and he's good, and he has that grit, but he's also kind of funny. So, which matches what Hal Jordan. We know of Hal Jordan, a young version of him anyway.
Yeah, like great focus because it's all about willpower, but he's a little cocky at times. He has a little fun. Yeah.
I can see it. And I like the hire. It doesn't get me excited, as if McConaughey or McGregor.
Right.
It's a good hire. I mean, listen, he's a viable actor. He's very good, and it still lends credence that they're really putting a lot behind the show when you hire someone of that caliber.
And who knows? This might be the thing that really puts him over the top because you're right. He is the guy for the thing, but most of the things he's been in have been solid movies. Yeah. But he's never like the lead name.
No, he's never reached those heights, right? But that could change.
Now flip it the other way. Paulo Pascal, he started as a TV guy and has been working his way up, nailing TV shows to get to movie star status.
Yeah.
So maybe this is opportunity. Is like, well, if I've already been movie level actor, but I've always been like a side character, let me really show people what I can do on TV, almost like a backwards version of Paul
I mean, it
Pascal's
could be. I mean, anything can
journey.
happen. I mean,
And might just
I'm
sell it
looking
out.
through his resume. The Godzilla, King of Monsters. He's on Godzilla. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
Godzilla. Yeah.
Game Night. Against Small Rope, but he was good in that. If you've seen that movie.
Yeah.
The Wolf of Wall Street. The Wolf of
But
Wall Street. I forgot he was in that.
but once again, all those solid
Solid
character
Argo,
moments.
Super 8, like
Argo,
you mentioned. Again, solid roles, not the main attraction, the original.
He never took you away from it. He always added to a scene in a
Right.
moment. He
He
never
was
took
never
you out of it.
bad. So I mean, like I said, he hasn't had his due yet. So this may be his shot.
Right.
But he's good. If you haven't seen
This
him,
could be it.
he's a good actor.
Yeah,
He fits
he's
the
solid.
bill. Okay, but at least that solves that part of the mystery. Now we'll wait to hear who the Jon Stewart casting will be, and I think it's going to be someone younger, as everyone has mentioned.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
So I'm kind of curious because I think it all really depends who they hire opposite him.
Yeah,
Right.
I heard a rumor that the plot for Lanterns is going to be the death of Hal Jordan.
Really?
So that's what I heard. So maybe that's the reason why these guys didn't want to do it, because they're like, well, I don't want to go in and just die especially if you're doing a new universe.
Know, but I'm saying, so now what we're thinking, this whole murder mystery that they've been, pushing, it's his murder we're talking about.
It's right, and it's gonna do the way they're gonna do the sort of like a true detective of it all is that Hal trained Jon Stewart. So Jon Stewart, while solving the murder of Hal, is gonna be flashing back to how Hal trained him, and maybe the thing that they didn't resolve in the past is the thing that killed Hal Jordan.
That's interesting. So I assume he's gonna have another partner, another Lantern,
right?
Besides Jon Stewart, I guess.
I mean, listen, Guy Gardner is gonna be in Superman, so you already have.
I heard he's
Lantern.
gonna be in there anyway. But he's just not one of the main characters, from what I hear. But,
sure.
So I said, listen, I'm excited about this show. I really am. I love the premise. I love the idea of this kind of true detective stuff. I mean, it's easy to say that and say it's true detective. Let's see how it's executed. If it's legitimately in that tone, you got me. If it's that tone, I'm in. I think that's something unique and different.
Absolutely.
Perfect for it. So let's find out. That said, the little Lucasfilm, the little DC is the little Marvel. So we got a little trailer recently. Thunderbolts dropped the official trailer of it. Your thoughts? Because I'm kind of curious to think. I'm pretty sure you liked it.
Listen, I got to tell you, pleasantly surprised. I was like, all right, because I saw the low grade, grainy leak video, and I was like, this kind of looks a little cheap.
Oh,
but as I was initially reacting to that, I was thinking, let's hold off until the official trailer comes out, because I remember all of us going, oh man, that Winter Soldier arm looks horrible. And then you saw the movie like, oh, that's awesome. We were stupid. We just didn't understand that was raw footage and not treated. So when I watched the trailer, I was like, oh yeah, this looks fun. I'll tell you what it felt like. The original Suicide Squad, the Oscar award-winning Suicide Squad. Oscar award-winning.
It's high praise. You're comparing to an Oscar-worthy
Put
entry.
respect on its name. Absolutely.
Well, I'm not sure that's really a good thing to be compared to that version.
No, but wait, listen to what I'm saying before you get to the vibe that trailer tried to give the movie, because that movie was nothing like the trailer.
They tried a really good trailer for the original, the Suicide Squad.
Right, the original,
really
right? Trailer, I feel like this movie, the soul of this movie, was the intent of that trailer.
No, it's fair.
Like,
it's an obvious comparison, because I think that's just anybody can look at this and say this is like their version of Suicide Squad, and they'd be completely right.
Right, but it's not. It's not James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
No.
It's not.
Of course, it's the original.
It is, but it is tonally. They're like, remember that first Suicide Squad trailer from the first movie? What if the whole movie felt like that trailer? Not is that trailer, just the feel of it, and a lot of the dynamic scenes literally felt like how I felt when I was watching that trailer, which made me go, huh. And then the fact that it looked good was also generally impressive. I was surprised that in this trailer, Taskmaster did not look like a Spirit of Halloween costume. It looked like a legit hero costume. I was like, this is cool. The whole bit with the knife, I was like, this is a fun action scene. But the best part is, it's not, so far, it's not wave of monster aliens. It's a bunch of people on a mission.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, I don't think that kind of kept on the. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure how Sentry's involved in all this.
Well, you saw him.
We saw him there, but
you
we don't know
also saw
what
the
his
S-Melt,
role will
too.
be ultimately. Like,
Right, he might be the bad guy, but
he's not
even
the.
if he's the
He
bad
can't
guy,
be the bad guy. That to me still doesn't make any sense. I don't know if you want to make him a good
well,
guy.
because the Void, it's his dark side, the Void, that is technically the
Well,
bad guy.
fair enough.
You see?
But he's just too powerful for them to really go toe to toe.
Oh yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
So I don't know how. That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of curious how he plays in, because I read somewhere he mentioned he's a Superman version of the. So he's going to be a powered hero, right?
I heard. So once again, much like the little rumors, you have your contacts, I have mine. This is the rumor that I heard, is that Ghost and Taskmaster and possibly Red Guardian are gonna die, and
Interesting.
at the end of during the adventure, and they're gonna be replaced with Zemo and Red Hulk and the Abomination, and so you kind of gotta get the real villains of it in the team, and so that's what I heard, and so you have the
That's
Sentry
odd, but okay.
will eventually be taken under control again, but will be the de facto bad guy of it, even though they will be fighting somebody else. But while fighting someone else, like sort of like how the Hulk goes berserk in the first Avengers movie, it's going to be that, but it's going to be the Void, and that's when Zemo, Red Hulk, and Abomination come in and knock him down a little bit to control him. But he would have killed those three characters. That's what I heard. So
Doesn't sound right. I don't know if they kill off, especially Red Guard. I don't know. Maybe. And listen, the trailer looked good. I wasn't like,
it looked good.
like, oh my god, it didn't blow me away. It's classic Marvel, yucking it up and taking out with
Sure.
no stakes. I expect that. That's why I'm no longer. If this was 10 years ago, I'd be like, ugh. Now I'm like, status quo is what I'm saying. Ultimately, I don't know if that's good or bad, to be honest. I don't know how I feel about that. Right.
I like the idea of we are legitimately watching not well-intentioned people be heroes, but like, what if the really a-holes of society? Well,
Red Guardian's a
except
hero.
for Bucky.
Bucky's a hero.
Except for
Bucky's
Bucky,
he's a
everyone
congressman
else
or whatever
is-
which is still ridiculous. But
whatever. Maybe that is an a-hole too.
Yes.
Depending how you see your
whatever.
politics.
But he's there, and like, even Captain America, whatever.
But like U.S. agent, his kid is crying and he's phone scrolling. I'm like, come on, dude. Your kid's right there. Come on.
Listen, it looked good. I still don't think it's gonna do that well. It's a characters nobody knows and it just doesn't have that vibe. But whatever. It didn't look terrible.
I think it's going to do better than expected. I don't think it's going to be $1 billion movie.
It's not going to be
but I think it's going to be like a 500 million.
Do that.
I think so.
When you make it,
I think so.
Shang-Chi didn't make 500 million. I don't think this even does that.
Shang-Chi made more than 500 million.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't do that.
I thought it made. Oh, it was pandemic too. But that's different. It's pandemic too. Now people are going more out to the theaters. So you got to take that one. I guarantee if it wasn't a pandemic, Shang-Chi would have made 800 million. Easy.
I think it was already out of the window. Black Widow was coming out pandemic, not that one. Either way,
what?
I think it depends on Captain America, really, if that hits or not. If that one doesn't do well, this is not going to do well either.
Yeah, you're right. And Captain America did a lot of heavy lifting.
Right, that one doesn't impress. You know how it is. It just
listen.
Right.
If we see Contessa Valentina blah 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 at the end of Captain America, then you know that Red Hulk is going to be in Thunderbolts.
Like I said, if that movie hits, it doesn't matter if it's good or not. It just has to hit, right? If it could be we could think it's the worst movie, but it makes $1 billion. Fair enough, right? People are excited, great. Doesn't matter what we think. But
Venom made almost $1 billion.
Exactly
so yeah,
my point, right?
It could not be a good movie.
It can still make a lot of money, right? So, but it comes down to we got a Venom 2 as a result. But we're going to be excited about Thunderbolts more. People will in general. We'll watch it regardless because that's what we do.
Sure.
So it's interesting. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Some shows to touch on. And this one you brought up, and I'm kind of surprised you did. And I've actually finished watching it today because I was on vacation, so I was watching stuff really slowly. And that's Twilight of the Gods. Zack Snyder. We talk to Zack Snyder a lot in this show, and
we dog him because
we
he deserves
dog
to get dogged all the time.
He's been. It's not the. I didn't even bother seeing the director's cut, and there's no need for that. But what is it, Rebel Moon?
Oh,
Did you see this?
I came up with a. I started watching the first one, the director's cut, and I had this fun drinking game where every time something stupid and unnecessary happens, I drink, and now I'm an alcoholic. So,
you passed out by the first act.
I'm watching. I watched 30 minutes so far, and I will say, you remember there was a the joke of the first 2 or 3 seasons of Game of Thrones was it feels like Lord of the Rings written by horny 12-year-olds. That is exactly what the first 30 minutes of Rebel Moon is. It's like it's Star Wars, but it's two 13-year-olds who are super horned up. And they have no game, and it's just like, and then this boob chick comes out, and then it's good, and then I was like, oh God,
Yeah, I
are you
figured
kidding
it. I mean, listen, yeah, but so I was worried about this one, right? I mean, it's animations. I think he's more suited for animation, to be honest with you. But he directed the first episode,
and the last episode,
right? And he was involved in the creative process. He didn't write them,
right? Executive producer,
right? He didn't write it.
He didn't do a lot of writing. He consulted. He's like, we should do more of this, and
I think that's his wheelhouse. Let someone else put the written word on paper and let him direct that, right?
Yes.
As an example,
take him out of the writer's room.
Exactly.
Just
let him
direct,
which he can do. We know he can direct. We've seen him. He's done good stuff. But this, I gotta say, listen, I was surprised. I enjoyed this. Is about the Norse mythology and Thor and Odin and the Valkyrie and all that. A young woman who's from a giant village or whatever got slaughtered by Thor, and now she's out for revenge. Right, very simple. But I enjoyed it, to be honest with you. I finished it today.
It was surprisingly good, right?
That was well done. It was as expected, Zack Snyder, graphic and sexual, and that's fine. I don't care.
Sure. It's fiction because every white guy there is packing a 10.
Oh, man, I was like,
make believe. Okay,
Zack Snyder, what are you trying to tell us here, big guy? Whatever. But it was interesting characters. I liked it. I liked that lore anyway, but they did a good job with it. And
I was surprised. Yeah. I'm so used to seeing Asgard as the heroes to pivot them and make them the villains. Right. I was like, wow, and not villains of like, I hate humanity. Just we're so hubris and we're so believing our own hype that we're great that everyone else around us becomes inconsequential, thus becoming
it kind of
villains.
A little bit of Chaos on Netflix, right?
It did, which is really weird. Right? Like, a lot of old gods but like animation was sweet, voice acting was great character designs, great fight sequences, great twists, and the thing we complain a lot about early Marvel movie or TV shows is they know how to make TV work. Right. They're like, these episodes will tell this story, we'll get to this point, and we'll go from there. And it always kept you far. I loved the last episode because it did not go anywhere I expected, and I was like, oh wow, they're doing this.
Yeah, you kind of think, okay, this is it. One or two things are going to happen. Another one did. Some character deaths, which is you always want the stakes, right?
Sure,
which worked, right?
We knew that was going to happen.
Which we figured as much, but I was curious who's going down here, right? Who's going to get whacked? And okay, all right, cool, and it came out. Listen, it was good, man. It was well done. Not the greatest thing I've ever seen.
But, right now, not.
But for Zack Snyder to be back on the positive side, I like because I'm a Snyder guy.
That's why I told you you got to watch this because I was like, maybe I'm crazy. No, maybe I'm so drunk from Rebel Moon that I thought this was great, and I needed a second opinion.
If you're a Zack Snyder guy, like, oh my God, like, it's better than Rebel Moon, and that's a fair statement, right? But no, it's legitimately in a vacuum a well done executed show. I liked it. This is not Blue Eye Samurai, of course. This is not Arcane.
No.
But it's good. And the Netflix does good these animated
ones. If Blue Eye Samurai and Arcane is top echelon, this is B class. Like really upper, like almost getting to there, but not there. But like solid.
Castlevania, for example, is another solid one, right?
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would put that very much in the Castlevania wheelhouse of like solid, good stuff. Not blown away, but like engaging, entertaining. Yeah. I would like to see more, but if they didn't, which, by the way, based on the last episode, and no spoilers, based on the last episode, do you think there's another season, or they're kind of done?
I would like to see.
I took it as they're done. I
mean, how many times we saw a movie we thought was done, we got sequel. So I mean, it's possible.
Well,
and let's assume that this one does really well. Who knows, right, with the numbers? But let's assume it does, and they're like, hey, you want to do another one? I believe me, I'm not gonna be like, nah, bring it on.
I would almost like it if they did do another one. They tackled an entire other pantheon.
Fair, yes. Okay.
I would like that. I would like that because I felt the way they ended it was so.
It was a good ending and
understatedly bittersweet. That I was like,
it's not what you expected. I liked.
No,
right? It was like, okay, all right, cool. I like that. You may be right. Maybe do like Twilight of the Gods with the Greek mythology, right?
Then you do the Greek
Right,
gods,
which
and you
is
could do the Roman gods,
right.
or the battle of the Greek and Roman gods
Mix
because
it
of the
up.
whole history.
So,
That's really. Then you could do Japanese, like just so many great
do you know
different
what?
pantheons to
That's
go at.
kind of like an anthology series. I would dig that. But it was good. Listen, good for Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
He needed a win.
Yeah,
And this,
he needed
and
to
this
win.
won't be
He
as
needed to win.
publicized, unfortunately, because it's animation.
Yeah,
But
it was just an animated series, but it's a
solid.
solid,
You guys
solid
don't
series.
check it out. Give it a shot. It's really good. If you like Zack Snyder, this is one of the best things he's done in a while, right? And I know it wasn't all. And I know it wasn't all him, and I get it.
Right.
To be fair, but he was heavily involved in directing, some of the writing, so why not? But yeah.
And by the way, one of the guys who was the co-creator and executive producer and writer of the show was also one of the writers from the rebooted Masters of the Universe. And so I'm glad to kind of see a lot of that carrying
Which
over
was good
to
too.
that
I
as
thought
well.
this
So
was
that was
better than that, to be honest with you.
A little bit better. Yeah,
it was a little bit better.
A little
and
bit
I like
better,
Masters of the Universe.
Because, but once again, I think it's our maturity level. Like, this is meant for adults. It's not meant for kids. That one's meant for all ages.
Correct, yeah.
So you got to take that with a grain of salt.
Course.
But overall,
exactly.
Really
this is more demographic, right? Which is, it's fair.
Yeah.
But very good. Definitely check it out. Another show, and I got to be honest, we're going to talk about Agatha here. Agatha All Along.
Okay.
Where
3 episodes.
Yeah, I guess the one dropped yesterday or today, whenever it was. Now, I was on vacation, so I didn't get a chance to see it. And I debated, should I watch this show, right? The reviews have been solid, but this is my issue with the review, with the critics, quote unquote, is that they gave Acolyte 78%, they gave Echo 80%. Enough said, right? I mean, so
which we both agree
it's not a good show. Then neither one was a good show.
I initially liked Acolyte, and I was like, it's not 70%. It's like
78,
60 if you're being generous.
50. You see, the whole thing is below 50, right? But whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. But the first episode,
a lot of reviews,
like a 60.
A lot of them get 4 or 5. So they at least saw 4. By 4, we're like, oh boy. So whatever.
Yeah.
So I like that. To me, that meant nothing, right? I'm like, okay, whatever.
Sure.
I asked, texting a bunch of friends. I should have texted you and I forgot. And I think 6 people got back to me, right? 2 didn't like it. 4 enjoyed it. Said it was okay. It was fine. It wasn't a train wreck, a disaster like I predicted. But at the same time, they're like, you can take it or leave it. So I'm like,
right.
Okay. Do I want to see a show that's take it or leave it? Because particularly when I compare it to another show, which we'll talk about momentarily.
Yes.
And I haven't seen this, but I can imagine from and that's the same people about the other show, right? One didn't like it, didn't like either one. So to be honest, the other ones they thought that was a vastly superior show. So I made the conscious decision. I don't want to see mediocrity anymore at Marvel. I really don't. And no one's told me not to say the show's bad. No one's told me the show's well, a couple people have, but whatever. It's minority. They said it's just okay. It's fine. It's inconsequential. So I really don't want to see a show. I'm tired of seeing okay Marvel. I really am. So I'm making a conscious effort to see.
I will interject. I disagree. I don't think it's fine. I think it is fun. It is almost like, how like we just said, when we're watching Twilight of the Gods, you didn't expect it to be so good from Zack Snyder, and you're like, wow, this is really fun. But also, I'm okay if they don't have a like this. This was just a good story. I enjoyed the story they were telling, and we said like this was. You could say this was better. Twilight of the Gods was better than Motu, but Motu is meant for all ages. They could technically be the same kind of good. It's just the level of maturity that we're tackling. I would say Agatha is a little bit closer to the Motu side of it, but I would put it just as entertainingly fun for me as Twilight of the Gods, where I'm not like, I gotta watch it. I was like, oh, this is fun. I'm watching it. This is great. And now it's over. That was cool. It was just a fun thing to watch. That's what Agatha, for 3 episodes, consistently, I was like, this is fun. I'm enjoying myself. I'm not like at no point did I feel like I needed a drink like watching Rebel Moon. So I'm literally like, oh, that's cool. Oh, and then listen, episode 3, the spoiler, they mentioned Mephisto. I was like, and I giggled to myself out loud, like, dude, finally did it. Good for you guys. Right. You're putting in the work. You're finally in on the joke.
I know. I heard something about Mephisto. I'm like, okay, there we go, right?
Yeah, so they referenced Mephisto. I was like, well, that's cool. But so is it like I need the next episode? No. But if you are, you're going through your week and you want a fun issue show, especially for the spooky season, if you enjoyed Werewolf by Night, And War by Night was really
That
good.
was really good.
But I think it was better because it was the Halloween season. I feel like Agatha is your intro to Halloween. And so you're like, okay, I want to feel something spooky, but something fun. If you got kids, you can watch it with your kids. So it's not the worst thing ever. Like, you can't watch Twilight of the Gods with your kids.
No,
you got to
obviously,
make sure
yeah.
you're
That's
alone or you're single or
only.
you can't. Exactly. But
Or
the
teenagers.
Agatha, you can watch by yourself or watch with your kids, and it works both ways. And
I'm
so
sure it's,
for
I'm sure
me,
it's family. It's Marvel. Marvel is a
I
family show.
know, but Marvel, Secret Invasion, after episode 1 was hot garbage all across through.
Fair, 100%, right?
So, and I'm saying, and this is not
But
Secret
like I said,
Invasion
I
at all.
haven't heard, like, I've heard a couple of bad things, but whatever. I mean, again, most people enjoy it, but no one's like raving about it. And for me, I'm just like, eh.
And look, I'll put
You
it
know?
this way: if you watch WandaVision now, no one's gonna be raving about it. It's like, oh, this is fun. I want to see where they go with it. But like,
I didn't think so. But a lot of people were really high on that show, right?
well, I think it's because of where our mind was and our environment was in that
Perhaps,
time.
but
we
we
just
can
wanted
only
something
judge it by
new.
when it's. I mean, put it now. But
Right,
at
right.
the
But
time,
I'm
it
saying,
was like, oh man.
to me, I
People
feel
are
like
excited,
Wanda very much is a spiritual successor to the WandaVision. So if you like the tone of WandaVision and you like sort of like the little breadcrumbs you're doing, and it's magic, and I think it is a definitive go-to choice. Like, I would give this a good 75, 80 out of 100. Like, I would rate it like that. So between varying levels, but a definite, nothing lower than 75. Like, clearly. So it's fun.
One I may go back. I don't think I am, but I may if I hear. Because I don't even want to start now because we know how a lot of these Marvel shows end not well, right?
Sure.
And that's well documented. So maybe this gets better or whatever, and I hear it's most. I may go back and watch it because fine, I got time. But just one of those like I don't know. I wasn't motivated because I'm just like I said. I'm really just trying. I want good. I want just okay. I want good Marvel. It's like
I'll tell you this. Aubrey Plaza is a standout.
Like she's great anyway.
Murders every the minute she's on camera, you're like, this chick. Like
I heard a lot of things about her, and she's always good. I'm a fan of hers.
I mean, clearly. But what I'm saying is, like, at no point do you feel like the show is a detriment to her. She is clearly an enhancment to the show.
Better than Acolyte. I would assume it is.
Way better. Way better.
But again, it's not to the point where like man, I guess I might. Better than Marvel and even Star Wars. I mean, I'm watching Skeleton Crew because I know that's going to be the greatest thing Star Wars has ever done. Right?
Clearly. There's no way around it.
Low. But other than that, I'm very selective with these shows because I don't want my impression of Marvel and Lucas to keep dropping the way it has over the last few years, right?
Sure.
And I'm trying to let me take a step back, let the smoke clear. We're gonna start fresh with Captain America and see how they attack that, right?
Right.
And then see what happens.
But here's the thing: we are in September. Mm-hmm. I bet you when we start hitting closer to October, you and your wifey can be like, oh, we're bored. Let's put on this Agatha show. Let's see what's going on. And it would be something with just fun because of the Halloween season.
Maybe she's not into the scary stuff. I'm not big time watch horror stuff all the time. But by the way, it's one of my. I will revisit if it can't just be it was cool. Like, dude, it was great. Then I'll go back and watch. Right.
Look. I'm not crazy. I can't say like, oh, after you guys order your copy of Danger Squad, you're set for Halloween. You got to do different things to keep you in the mood. I get it.
Is Agatha better than Danger Squad?
No, Danger Squad is way better than Agatha. I'm saying
what is though?
But Agatha's solid second place. Is what I'm saying. So
fair enough. But like I said, I'm gonna wait and see with this show. But to be fair, it's not a disaster, which it seemed like it was because even the embargo mentioned this.
Right, you were like you more than me.
Right, because even the embargo wasn't lifted until the day of, and that's usually a clear-cut sign that they have no confidence in it. Right. 9 times out of 10
but
is what
surprisingly
happens.
So.
Right, but surprisingly the reviews were good. Not great, but they were good.
And I'll tell you something. The first episode continued the Agatha trope of building a world based off a genre.
Well, I heard there's a lot of trailer you see with her. She's a detective or whatever. Right?
It's the first episode.
Right,
the first episode.
That's
and then the real adventure starts. The little part of it was like, kind of wish you stuck in this world. It was really fun.
You're not selling it really well right now, too. Well,
not that it's bad, but I was like, it made me remind me of WandaVision.
Right.
Like, I wonder what else they're gonna do. So yeah, it's kind of fun that way.
Wait and see. I'll wait and see. When it's all said and done, we'll revisit and say, okay, this is something I really have to see. at the end of the day, right?
Sure.
Um,
I will keep you
of
informed.
course, and as purpose. So every week, you can kind of jump in with each episode and all that, and say, hey,
Sure.
maybe it starts tanking. Who knows, right? We've seen these shows happen before where it starts going down and going down fast.
Right.
So it's early on 3 episodes or whatever.
I will say, for anyone who's interested, episode 1, it's very much Mayor of Eastwick kind of true crime. Episode
Mayor
2,
Eastwick?
it is very straightforward.
Mayor
Mary,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, Mary Easttown. Sorry, Eastwick with the
Yeah,
witches of
so I was thinking,
Eastwick
it's
because
like,
of witches that it got.
I
Yeah,
mean, it could
yeah.
be Mayor of Eastwick based on what the show
listen,
is. It kind of makes sense.
Did I just create a new IP?
You may have.
The
You
Mayor of
accidentally
Eastwick?
created
There we
a
go. I got
perfect
it.
blender.
I got it. Episode 2, it felt very much like a witch version of Ocean's 11, where you come in and he goes, "You son of a bitch, I'm in." So they had that, and then the third one felt very much like you know what it felt like, and they kind of were doing like modern. It was a modern aesthetic to it, but it felt like what was that TV show, like Dangerous Housewives on ABC? Do you remember that one?
Oh,
where
Desperate
it was like
Housewives?
Desperate Housewives. It had the aesthetic feel became very Desperate Housewives. I was like, this is fun. Like, you're doing it without doing it, and I like what's going on.
Fair.
So those
Fair
two things, as a TV nerd, I was like, oh, cool. I see what you're doing there. And then a little bit of Marvel just underneath the surface. It was fun that way. So
Fair enough. But let's see. Again, I won't judge it fully until I see it, if I see it.
Sure.
But what I have seen is the Penguin. Dropped the first episode last week, and I was thinking, oh man, Thursday I'll watch it tonight. I'll watch it. And then I heard that they moved it to Sunday. Like, damn it, which is a good sign because I heard like that.
That's their prestige day.
Exactly, which I'm
Sundays are
surprised they didn't
prestige.
do it from the beginning, because I was one of my first gripes I was mentioning on the watch list was, why is this not on Sundays? Now it is, because I guess it did very well ratings wise for them, one of the biggest releases that they've had in a while recently. So okay, so yeah, I mean, this one I'll let you go first. What'd you think about this first episode?
It was Sopranos in Gotham. That's the best way I can put it. It was Sopranos in Gotham. Literally, you're watching Colin Farrell, and you could just picture Tony Soprano, but not Tony Soprano on the top. Tony realizing, I have a shot to make it to the top.
Opportunities.
It was dynamic. It was interesting. The way this whole story played out, I was pleasantly surprised. There were some things I was watching like, what are you doing? Like, this makes it. I was like, all right, okay, yeah, all right. Okay. So and they didn't shy away from it being a gritty, crime-ridden city drama. Like, I'm not just talking about like the flash of like a trans sex worker boob. Yeah, whatever. I'm not a child. But when you saw what happened to Penguin's foot, I was like, oh. And that was just, that's not even, it was just nature. Like, that's why he walked. I was like, all that was like, I really like this world building, this sort of like, I thought it was really funny. You see the Penguin's apartment in the series, and it's above a jewelry store. And the jewelry store is named after the actor who played the Penguin in the 1960s Batman series. Merges Meredith played Penguin,
That's
and
funny.
so it's Meredith's jewelry.
I was
like,
good, nice.
It's cool. And then when you go to his apartment, he converted the safe of the jewelry store is his apartment. So his door to his bedroom is the actual safe wall. I was like, that's cool. If you needed a safe room, better room than the safe you keep jewelry in? I was like, I love little things. And it also adds to like the super villainy of it all, like that impenetrable. I was like, that's really smart, taking real world things and repurposing it to make it super villainy without it being legit. Like,
right, yeah, it's very grounded. Right.
Very grounded. I really liked. Even when I saw the guy who played the husband from the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, when I saw him, I go, "Oh, cool, he's in it." And then I was like, "Oh, did not see that coming."
He got a paycheck. Good for you.
Yeah, got a paycheck.
You gotta eat. I get it. But that was cool seeing him. I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't have no idea who was gonna be in it. Yeah, listen, it's really good. It's really good. So well done. What's her face? Is it Christina Milani? If I'm saying it right, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're saying it right. Yeah,
she's great.
She actually is the big bad from the sequel to the Long Halloween.
Oh, yes. Because
But in the book, her and her brother are running the 1-2 scam being the Hangman, not the holiday killer, but the Hangman from the Sing Along Halloween. So when she comes out, she's like, "I was a Hangman." I was like, "Oh, so did that story happen, and that's why you ended up in Arkham?" Like, it was kind of cool. Now in the comics, she's supposed to be like 6'7", built like a Mack truck. So seeing her so sort of like a demure, skinny little woman, but
which works better, I think.
also terrifying.
Yeah,
like that intensity.
She does a really good
I was
job,
like,
dude.
wow.
I've seen her. She's one of those like college channel. She's a girl from those things, right?
Yeah.
But dude, she's killing it. She's killing it. It's because she's cuckoo.
Spoiler alert: there is a torture scene between her and I was like, how is he gonna get out of it? Like,
yeah, that was really cool. That was very Breaking Badish, right?
Really Breaking Bad.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. So it's very well written. It's smart. It's just I think it's just gonna get better and better. To be honest with you. There's only one episode. So it's hard. I want to rave about it one episode. I want to pump the brakes, but at the same time, dude, it's laying the foundation to be a really, really good show.
Listen, like you said, the rest of the series might take a big flop and fall off, but you can't discount how well structured this first episode was. It did the job of a TV series. I want to watch more.
Exactly. You set the world up. Set the characters up. What's the conflict? Boom, right? And at the end, you're like, oh shit, here we go. And it was a great plan executed by the Penguin.
By the Penguin,
like, oh man, okay, I didn't see that coming.
Like now if he goes up against Batman, you're like, oh yeah, this dude could make something.
Right,
he can make something happen.
He's playing the long game. He's playing the chess pieces. He's and everybody thinks he's not exactly that guy. He's that guy, right? And he's proving very cool.
And shout out to the series. Bringing back Dolly Parton working 9 to 5.
Yeah, I saw. At first, I'm like, it's kind of odd, but you know what? It kind of works. Because you kind of see his duality, his life, but with his mom and all that, and different part of his life, I didn't expect to see. I
did not.
Right?
See, that was surprising.
And he's got another car, which is a very conservative vehicle to see his mom. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And he got that kid with that, whatever his new lackey, whatever that kid is. Well, like that. That was interesting. I thought it was gonna.
You know who that kid is? He's the kid from the Runaways.
Oh, no way! Oh, I didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Alex, the kid with the glasses, who was siding with the parents.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, that was a few years ago, so he obviously looks different. But everything worked. All the pieces worked. Lottie was great. Everybody worked. My condolences to Mrs. Maisel. So we spoiler free, but whatever. But yeah, this is really and I can see why, and it should have been on Sunday from the get go. Because they were promoting the hell out of this show.
Originally, this was just supposed to be a Max show,
right?
And then after that, they're like, "Oh no, it's HBO.
Right.
This is an HBO show."
People wanted to see it. People saw it, and like, okay, duh. So that's kudos to them for recognizing it quickly and say, let's pivot, drop it on Sunday nights, which sucks. I have to wait 4 more days, but that's okay.
We're right around the corner.
We're around the corner, right there. It's not a big deal, but no, it's something to watch Sunday nights. But no, it was very good. It's very well done. This has potential. I'm not saying it is to be.
I'll put it this way: out of Agatha and Penguin hit a little harder, but
I'm sure it's a different kind of show
like
at the same time, though. I would assume.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I feel like Penguin hit harder the way we're describing the difference between Twilight of the Gods and Mo 2.
Fair enough.
I feel like Twilight of the Gods is a little bit more Penguin level, and Mo 2 is more Agatha. Like I said, both good shows, just hit different aspects, and it of course becomes more appealing to different minds.
A chance. I'm saying that it is to be DC's best show, potentially. From what potentially, I'm not saying that it will be.
It is Doom Patrol all day, every day.
For me,
shut your face.
To be honest with you.
Peacemaker's pretty solid too.
Come on.
Pretty good.
Doom Patrol. You know how I feel about Doom Patrol, but
I know. But just on intro alone,
you're right. Agree. That by itself.
Just on intro. I take it back. I can admit when I'm wrong.
No, take it back. Listen, you probably didn't think about it, but I mean, they made you give a shit about John Cena. I mean, come on. I mean, but it's again different kind of show than Penguin. It really is. And so it's hard to compare, to be honest with you. But that's potential being that it's that well set up the first episode. Again, this can go to shit.
Absolutely.
Or this could be amazing. We'll find out. But yeah, all in for now. And Colin Farrell, he's great. He's great.
I mean, on that one episode, like that is Emmy. That's how you get your Emmy right there.
So good. They both are, and I'm looking forward to seeing their dynamic together because
Absolutely.
something's up. She don't trust complete. That's gonna be fun. Him trying to put the
Oh,
world
yeah,
over
he's
ice.
not completely out
No,
of the
he's
loop
not.
yet.
He's
Still,
not.
but he also knows that because he knows that wasn't his plan hasn't been resolved. That was just part one
Right. Yeah.
of
It's just
the
lame.
plan.
He's moving the pawn. Right. You
Right.
got the bishop back there. All this going on. So very fun. Very cool show. So
Listen, if Breaking Bad has taught us anything, is that 2/3 of the way through, the plan's gonna go upside down. And how do you pivot on the
right,
pivot?
and
So,
I'm anticipating that. So, for example, we get that kind of writing, that kind of cleverness in there. That's what I'm looking forward to, right? And Peacemaker's more just in your face. It's great, and I love Peacemaker. Fantastic,
Sure.
but it's a different show. Right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. So we'll obviously we'll tackle that in the next coming weeks. Hopefully, as well. I know I think it's 8 episodes. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's 8.
I don't know.
It's gonna be at least 8. Max.
Yeah,
Max
at least
usually
8.
does
At least
8
8.
to 10. That's
It's definitely not 6.
It's not 6.
It's gonna be something like 8 to 10 at the
10,
most.
right? It
Yeah,
was a good
you're right.
hour long. Go figure. God, Disney, learn something for Christ's sake, man.
Hey, Disney. Oh, Agatha's like 40 minutes. I was impressed. I was like, look at you doing beyond
Was that with
28
or without credits? I don't know. I haven't.
without credits.
It's not bad. It's not bad, but
I'm just saying they're picking up
maybe they
steam.
are. Well, but 21 show. We said it's not a trend yet.
Wait until Daredevil. Daredevil, we're getting
we'll
full
see if
hours.
we're gonna get an hour or 45 or whatever. A good minus credits and intro nonsense. But this is about a good hour or 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm not mistaken.
Around that
Around
vein.
there, kind of Game of Thrones length, kind of.
But I'll tell you once again, proof of good story. Never once did I feel that episode dragged or was too much. It was just boom,
you do
boom,
some
boom.
roll in, and you just stick around for the hour and be fine.
Yeah.
When it's not like Lord of the Rings says, and not off the show, but sometimes it does tend to drag. You're like, oh my god, this is hours taking like 2 hours, right? At times, this one felt like it's the pacing, the cadence behind it. Every scene mattered. Bam, bam, bam. It was building to something, and it built to something like, oh, payoff, done, right? Mic drop, right? So roll credits,
right?
But very cool. Definitely check it out. But that being said, those are the nuggets for the week,
guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate all the love support you always give us. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe here on YouTube on the Latin Nerd Network, where you can watch shows such as Nerdsplaining and The Watch List and Dennis's Choice and more shows coming to you. Don't forget to go to dangersquad.com. It spells like it sounds, dangersquad.com. Sign up to our Kickstarter. We launch on September 30th. We'd love to get another 7 subscribers, hit 70 before the launch, and you can buy all the versions of the books. We'd love to have you participate and let us know what you think about the book and everything else. I'm really excited about it, so I'd love your support in that as well. Don't forget to follow us on the social medias at Nerdsplaining Pod on Instagram, at Nerdsplaining Pod on Instagram, and Nerdsplaining_ on X, Twitter. If you want to hear the original audio episodes, go to ericdasilva.com, ERICDASILVA. You can listen to all the original audio episodes. And while you're there, pick up my album, Adorably Offensive, as well. Guys, as always, I have been Eric Da Silva. This has been Jose Romero. We have been Nerdsplaining. And if you don't know, now you know. Boom.